CEO took her deaf daughter to a Christmas dinner. The single dad's sign language made her smile. Christmas evening settled gently over the city, wrapping the streets in soft lights and quiet anticipation. And for Alina Hartwell, it was supposed to be just another formal obligation. As the CEO of one of the fastest-growing tech firms, she was used to gala dinners, charity banquets, and polished conversations that never went deeper than business cards and polite smiles. Yet this night was different, because standing beside her in the back seat of the car was her 6-year-old daughter, Lily, holding a small teddy bear close to her chest. Lily was deaf, a fact Alina carried not as shame, but as a constant ache of responsibility, love, and fear. Alina had learned sign language, yes, but the long hours, the endless meetings, and the invisible wall between corporate success and motherhood often made her feel like she was failing at both. Lily rarely smiled in public places. Loud environments overwhelmed her. Unfamiliar faces made her retreat inward. And Alina had grown used to that quiet seriousness in her daughter's eyes. Tonight's Christmas dinner at the Grand Aurora Hotel was meant to be elegant, calm, and brief, just enough to show face and leave early. The ballroom glowed with chandeliers, polished wood, and towering Christmas trees dressed in warm lights. As Alina entered, conversations paused for a fraction of a second, the way they always did when powerful people arrived, but she barely noticed. Her attention was on Lily, who clutched her teddy tighter. Scanning the room with cautious curiosity, Alina guided her to their table near the center, hoping proximity to others might help Lily feel included. Though past experience told her otherwise, the hum of movement, the flicker of lights, the shifting expressions, it was all too much. Alina felt the familiar knot in her chest tighten. She wondered if she had made a mistake bringing Lily along, if this dinner was more about appearances than what her daughter truly needed. As servers moved gracefully between tables, Alina noticed a man nearby, dressed not in a suit but in a dark work uniform, a tool belt resting at his side. He looked out of place among tailored jackets and silk dresses. Yet there was something grounding about him, something real. He appeared to be adjusting a light fixture or checking a connection near their table. Alina assumed he was part of the hotel's maintenance staff and thought nothing more of it. Lily, however, noticed him immediately. Her eyes followed his movements with quiet interest. The man glanced down and caught her gaze. And instead of offering an awkward smile like most adults did, he lowered himself slightly to her level. Alina tensed instinctively, ready to intervene, but before she could, the man raised his hands and began to move his fingers deliberately, gently forming shapes in the air. Lily's posture changed instantly. Her shoulders relaxed. Her eyes widened. The teddy bear slipped slightly from her grip as she leaned forward, fully focused. The man was using sign language, clear, confident, fluent. He introduced himself with a simple gesture and asked her name. Lily hesitated only a moment before responding, her hands moving shyly at first. Then, with growing confidence, Alina watched, stunned, as her daughter engaged with a stranger in a way she rarely did, even with family. The world around them seemed to blur. Conversations continued. Glasses clinked, music played softly. But Alina could see only Lily and the man in the uniform. He signed slowly, patiently, his face expressive and kind, exaggerating his gestures just enough to be understood without being patronizing. Lily's lips parted. And then something Alina hadn't seen in a long time appeared, a genuine smile. Small at first, then blooming across her face. It wasn't the polite smile Lily sometimes forced when prompted. It was spontaneous, bright, and unguarded. Alina's breath caught. She felt tears threaten as she placed a hand over her chest, overwhelmed by a mix of gratitude, shock, and a sharp pang of guilt. How long had it been since she'd seen that smile? How many moments had she missed because she was chasing boardroom victories instead of simple human connections? The man signed something that made Lily giggle silently, her shoulders bouncing with laughter only her body could express. He mimed fixing something broken and then pretended it worked again, his eyebrows lifting dramatically. Lily clapped her hands once, delighted. Alina noticed how other guests began to glance over, drawn not by noise but by the energy of the moment. Yet there was no embarrassment, no sense of spectacle. It was just a man and a child communicating in a language that felt invisible to everyone else but meant everything to them. Finally, the man glanced up at Alina, as if realizing for the first time who Lily belonged to. He gave a small, respectful nod and signed something to Lily that made her look at her mother proudly. Lily tugged at Alina's dress, her eyes shining, and signed quickly, excitedly. Alina struggled to keep up, but understood enough. He's nice. He talks like me. He made me laugh. Alina knelt beside her daughter, her elegant red dress brushing the floor, and looked at the man more closely. His eyes held a quiet sadness mixed with warmth, the kind that came from experience rather than theory. She signed a simple thank you, slightly awkward, and he responded with ease, assuring her it was no trouble at all. Only then did Alina notice a small photograph, tucked into the man's tool belt, a picture of a young boy smiling widely. Something shifted inside her. This wasn't just a kind stranger. This was someone who understood deeply and personally. As he stood to return to his work, Lily waved enthusiastically, her smile lingering long after he stepped away. Alina remained kneeling for a moment, absorbing what had just happened. In a room full of powerful people, expensive decorations, and practiced conversations, it was a single quiet act of understanding that had created the most meaningful moment of the night. Alina felt, for the first time in a long while, that this Christmas dinner might change something not just for Lily, but for herself as well. Alina sat back at the table, but the dinner no longer felt like a gathering she needed to endure. Lily remained beside her, unusually calm, her fingers resting gently on the soft fur of her teddy bear. From time to time, Lily's eyes drifted across the room, as if hoping to see the man again. Alina noticed how different her daughter seemed, now less guarded, more present. The noise of the room no longer overwhelmed her, and the tightness Alina had grown used to seeing in Lily's posture was gone. Around them, people continued their polished conversations, unaware that something deeply meaningful had already taken place. After a while, Alina felt an urge she could not ignore. She led Lily toward the quieter side of the hall, where staff moved in and out through a narrow corridor. There, the man was finishing his work, carefully adjusting a panel along the wall. Lily stepped forward eagerly, lifting her hands to greet him. His face softened instantly as he knelt again, responding in sign language. Lily's smile returned, brighter than before, and Alina felt a lump form in her throat. She introduced herself, and the man told her his name was Daniel. Their exchange unfolded naturally. Daniel explained that he was a single father, raising a deaf son on his own. Learning sign language had been his bridge to his child's world, the only way to truly be part of his son's life. He spoke without self-importance, as if what he had done was simply what any parent would do. Alina listened, deeply moved. She realized how often she had allowed work to pull her attention away, telling herself she would make time later. Standing there, she understood that later was never guaranteed. Lily stood between them, absorbing every movement of their hands. Daniel signed something playful, and Lily laughed silently, her entire face lighting up. That laugh struck Alina more deeply than any award or achievement ever had. In that moment, she understood that Lily didn't need to change to fit the world. The world needed to slow down enough to meet her where she was. Eventually, Daniel stood to return to his duties. Before he could leave, Lily stepped forward and wrapped her arms around him. He paused, surprised, then hugged her back gently. Alina saw emotion flicker across his face, a reflection of shared experience and quiet understanding. As he walked away, Alina felt as though something inside her had shifted permanently. The rest of the evening passed quickly. Alina focused on Lily instead of the room, responding to her signs and expressions with patience she hadn't always shown before. On the drive home, Lily excitedly replayed the encounter, her hands moving with energy and joy. Alina followed along, smiling, determined to keep this connection alive. That night, after Lily fell asleep, Alina sat alone and reflected. She thought about Daniel, about his son, and about the many moments she had rushed past in pursuit of success. She realized that true achievement wasn't measured by titles or numbers, but by the ability to understand and be understood. In the days that followed, Alina made changes. She protected her time with Lily, practiced sign language daily, and chose presence over perfection. Lily noticed immediately. Her smiles became more frequent, her confidence grew, and their bond deepened. The Christmas dinner faded into memory, but its lesson remained. A simple act of kindness had opened Alina's eyes and reshaped her priorities. In the end, she understood that the most powerful connections are often silent and that love, when expressed in the right language, has the strength to change everything.